It's in the lobby.
Gotcha. Well, on my end now, Jeff's frozen.
I think, yeah, Jeff. Someone's typing loud. I can hear that.
That was me.
I type super loud.
Well, I just got these like Italians for nails, so it's really loud.
But yeah, I don't have that problem. I just have a loud keyboard on my Mac.
I know. I have 2 Macs too, and it's super loud. I was trying to find this really cool article that we were just featured in because there was a good quote in there. Let's see. Now it's just us. There we go. What are those books behind you?
What are they? There's about, it's my Win by Noon planner, of course. You know, it's a little promo. It's my stuff.
That's right. Did you get your new shipment in yet, or is it supposed to come in soon?
Yeah, they just came in. This is the brand new one with the instructions in it. It's really fancy.
I know. I didn't send you my address. I was going to make Matt walk over to my house.
You know, I totally forgot. So I will, I'll give him one today. Let me put it on my to-do list in my planner.
Oh, there you go. Are you in your home office right now or your work office?
Oh, this is my office.
Yeah.
I'd have dogs barking if I was at home.
I know. Colby's sick today, so it's just like that bug that's been going in and out. Like I had it and then the other kids had it, and so he's back to having it round 2.
Exciting. You know, it's interesting because it says we're live right now, which would be really awkward if we were live and we're talking and Jeff's not here. Let me go look. I don't see it live though. That's good.
We're not? Okay, good.
That made me really nervous for a second. I do the mortgage coach calls and they start they push it to Facebook. They use Zoom and they push it to Facebook Live before we go live in Zoom. And so you're having a conversation, they push it and you're like, oh, wait. So it always starts off with some funny look on your face if you're not paying attention.
Yep, I totally get it. It looks like he's commenting. What's going on here? We're live. We're having tech issues. Comment from Facebook Live post.
So maybe we really are live and we can't see it. I wonder if
time.
Oh wait, is he coming back?
Oh wait, come in.
Okay.
There he is.
All right. So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys were live the whole time talking about flu and all that stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck happened. I clicked start broadcast and everything went dark. But you guys were on there chit chatting. So anyway,
you guys all had a good time.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a couple folks watching us here. Kenny is online. What's up? Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's do around the horn here. Quick introductions. I'll start from whatever it is, top left of my viewing screen. Todd Bookspan. Everybody should know who you are, but for those that may not, who are you? What do you do?
Oh my gosh, I am Todd Bookspan, and everyone should know who I am. My best title right now is the founder of Win by Noon, which is sales and productivity platform. We've got about 2,500 subscribers between primarily loan officers and real estate agents, as well as insurance and executives. And I spent 17 years in the loan office doing what you guys are doing, running a $100 million team. My last year I produced was about 2.5 years ago. Closed a little over 550 loans for about 114 million and change. And I'm excited to be here to talk about something that I think is a pretty cool, awesome product. Oh, nice.
And I just wanted to give a little plug. There it is. I got my Win by Noon Loan Officer Edition, my Real Estate Edition. So if anybody's watching this live replay, listening on the podcast, go check out, is it winbynoon.com?
Winbynoon.com. There you go.
Awesome, man. If you want, there we go. Ashley, what's up? Tell us all about you.
All right. So I recently launched Homebot in Arizona in July. And Homebot is a computer software artificial intelligence program, which sounds really super fancy, but really it's a financial dashboard that we deliver to consumers through their real estate agent and or their lender.
Awesome. Cool. And we are hopefully expecting a special guest, Gerald Hamilton, who's a loan officer, who's going to come here and tell us a little bit about his experience with
He's in the
Homebot.
waiting room, Jeff. I don't know if you can see him there and pull him in, or if I should have him log in and log back out.
Have him log in and out again because I refreshed, and that might have caused an issue.
Hey, there's a named Ashley Miller that just said hi. Hi.
You guys have the same name. Is that insane or what?
We do.
Yeah, what's up, Ashley Miller? I think last time I saw Ashley, you were snowed in, weren't you? Unfortunately stuck, well, maybe fortunately stuck somewhere in the snow. So what's up, Spiro? Kenny, I hope you're still there. And obviously, we're going to try and bridge Jared in here in just a moment. So, all right, once again, Jeff Zimfer, Mortgage Marketing Radio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We're doing something a little bit different on this episode. If you're listening to this on the podcast, it's coming from a Facebook Live that we did. If you're listening and you want to see the video, go over to our Facebook page or the podcast community group on Facebook, Mortgage Marketing Radio. Okay, so Ashley.
Yes.
I told you the question I was going to ask you. Let's start with the first part of it. What does Homebot do?
So Homebot delivers a monthly financial digest to consumers, and it ranges anywhere from the property value, the amount of equity they have in their property, what their options are with their equity position. So if they're refinancing, paying off debt, student loans, as well as if they have the capability of using that equity to potentially purchase a rental property or an investment property. And it also allows them to see with their current property if they can Airbnb it and VRBO, because everyone right now wants to somehow put their home or make money off their home. So it's an amazing tool that delivers this type of information that truly empowers your client. So if a real estate agent or a lender delivers this to their clients, it's almost as if you guys are no longer lenders and real estate agents. You're almost like their wealth managers or their financial advisors for their property.
So how does that work then? I sign up, right? I do a purchase transaction for somebody. Take me from the point of purchase transaction. How are loan officers integrating this into either pre or post sales process?
Okay, so when a loan officer decides to become part of Homebot, they would put their client's information into the system. Very simple, the owner's names, their property address, and their email. We pull all of that data from public record, and then we deliver it on behalf of the loan officer and real estate agent to the consumer. So kind of similar to, a lot of people are out there, they're trying to find different ways to get in front of their clients and give them true value and keep top of mind. But with Homebot, you just put your clients in there and we take care of everything else for you.
Got it. Okay. And what's the communication? It's over email? Is it once a month? Do you control the cadence?
It's via email. It is once a month. And the really cool part is they can save it on their phone as if it's an application. Now, it's not an app that they can download perhaps from the app store, but once they open it in Safari on their phone, they can go to that little button that says save to your screen, and they can log into it as many times as they want just by clicking on their app.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that setup. I can see we've got our other special guest, Gerald Hamilton. What's up, man?
Hi there, how you doing? Sorry for the technical difficulties there.
Hey, you weren't the only one having them, trust me.
All right.
That's how it goes using these new platforms. All right, so we'd love to hear from you, Jared. Brief bio intro, who you are, what do you do, and start there.
Yeah, well, my name is Jared Hamilton. I'm with Cherry Creek Mortgage, and I'm a loan officer here in Denver, Colorado. And so I just, like probably most of the other people watching here, just trying to help people get a great loan and get into new homes. And I've been on Homebot for about 2 years now. It started in the Denver market, I believe. And so we've been on this platform for a while. I love it, and I think my clients do too.
Awesome. So thank you for being here. I know you're busy. Let's cut right to that. 2 years. So you sound like an early adopter with the technology. If you had to describe like the biggest impact Homebot has had for you, either on the consumer or realtor side or both, why do you use it? What do you love so much about it?
Well, first of all, my clients seem to love it. So if they love it, I love it. It's been, when I first saw the technology, I thought it was really cool in that, everybody is going to Zillow to try to get an idea of values. Everybody's interested in property values. And so this was a way for me to be able to communicate value information to my client base on a regular basis. And in addition to that, there's, some interactivity with the Homebot system that they could use and play around with. And it just seemed actually, cool. So I figured that I would, give it a try with my client base, and my clients, seem to love it. There's been a lot of enhancements that Homebot has done since I started in the system, which has made it better. And frankly, I don't really haven't gotten super familiar with all those enhancements. But for me, it was just, we could download our database. It was kind of a plug and play. And immediately after these went out, I was getting feedback from my clients. They were asking questions. They were able to get in there and kind of get an idea of how much equity that they actually had and what that could do for them. So just really created some stickiness and some back and forth. And that worked out, fantastic. When it came to the real estate agents, then we were figuring out, okay, well, how do we, I thought real estate agents would also love this type of technology. Sorry about my phone there. So where they could do the same thing.
Probably a Homebot lead, Jared.
What?
It's probably a Homebot lead calling.
There you go.
Yeah, could be. Right. Well, and honestly, most of the communication really is just via email. I mean, I'm getting a lot of these notifications from Homebot late at night, when people are sitting there, probably in front of their computer and,
That's the reported the number one time that most people are searching for homes and looking for values is at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
it doesn't surprise me because I get these things kind of late, get them in the morning, and then interact. With the real estate agents, we just also it's a great tool that we can use to at least engage in conversations, let them know that we have tools here to add value, try to let them know the importance of, as opposed to their clients going to Zillow, and then start poking around there and asking other real estate agents information about that this gives them a platform to where they can kind of keep their clients in a little bit of a bubble and talk to them about that information. I've had some challenges with the real estate community that I could kind of at least relay to you in that regards, but it's still a great widget and a great tool.
Wow, that's a lot in there. Thank you very much. And I'm actually looking at some screenshots right now and considering bringing that up as a screen share here in Homebot to give those that are watching kind of a visual representation of that. So how do you then enter the conversation of Homebot with your clients, Jared? At one point, are you offering that as part of mortgages under management and things like that?
Well, the first really communication that I had with my client base, we have about 2,000 people or households that I've done loans for over the years. I've been doing this for about 26 years. So we just loaded them in the database, and I created. Well, now Homebot has a introduction email that wasn't available when I started doing it, but we just sent out an email, let them know that they'd be receiving this. This is a new platform. It's a free service that we're offering as part of our value that we want to add to you as a customer. And we just plug and play and just let it go. We've started incorporating the Homebot discussion when we are doing annual mortgage reviews. As part of our annual mortgage review, when we talk about value, ask them, how do you think values are doing in your area? We'll then talk to them about Homebot, ask them, have you seen those emails? Not everybody, sees them. Email, we all get a lot of email in today's day and age. So I can't say that every one of my clients says, oh yeah, I see that every month. There's some that don't, but then we, let them know about it, talk to them about it. And those that do see it, they really like it. But we'll incorporate that into our annual mortgage review.
Interesting. So you're not bringing it up, because I know you referenced Mortgage Coach, right? So it sounds like you're a Mortgage Coach user. Is that right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I know there's a lot of, training and dialogue around mortgages under management, and, what differentiates you as a mortgage professional is, you want to help them manage the biggest debt they've probably ever taken on. So this is not the end, it's the beginning.
Right.
So I was curious that, when you introduce that Homebot into that kind of overall mortgages under management conversation, if I heard you correctly, you said it usually happens at the end of the, is there like a handoff conversation with that, or maybe I'm giving you an idea? I don't know.
Yeah, no, and actually, Todd and I have talked about this a little bit, but Todd's talking about how to really get great with Homebot. So I'd love to learn about this, but and how to incorporate it better. But really, we don't put them on we don't put them on Homebot until maybe 6 months after the sale is complete. I'm not really talking to them about, hey, guess what? You're going to get this. Again, how we've incorporated is we had this service. We dumped our database into it, and we sent the initial email, and then boom, we were off and running. There wasn't, rocket science to it.
All right. Does that tee up Mr. Todd Bookspan for any input, best practices?
All right. So I'll give you a couple of ways insight. So I have insight into Jared's business because he and I have been good friends for over a decade, and I actually served as his one-on-one coach for the last 2 years. And what I saw over that time was actually a few producers in Colorado who were part of the early adopter crew. And so it was interesting for me to be able to observe how they were implementing it to their business. And so, I have the observation into it a few ways, certainly through clients like Jared, who although I'm not doing one-on-one coaching anymore, who I coached in the past, as well as the fact that although I'm not involved in the day-to-day of our team also has over 2,000 closed transactions inside of Homebot. And so when we implemented it based on what I saw Jared and others doing, it's become the easiest way to create engagement with clients that I've ever seen. And anyone who's seen me speak about Win by Noon, whether I'm talking to realtors or I'm talking to loan officers, I believe two foundational elements are to be what Jared has become, which is the trusted advisor by doing annual mortgage reviews using Mortgage Coach. And, number one thing you need to know is what's an accurate value. Secondarily, I'm teaching realtors that when I'm talking to a room of realtors, I always ask the question, hey, why do your clients go online to look at real estate sites? And then 9 out of 10 people shout out to look at home value. And I say, well, awesome. So if they're going online to get home value, then who do they see as the home value expert, that website or you? And then they all go really quiet. And so I believe from a foundational perspective, I've been teaching now for 18 months to realtors to be doing real estate reviews. And what I found is that if they use Homebot as a tool to support that, now you've got values getting emailed in this home digest to your clients every month. And absolutely it creates engagement. And what Jared alluded to is I created a tool on 5 ways to increase your client engagement. And Homebot is one of those, is the added tool. So it's 5 ways to increase engagement. And then I threw in a tool. It's a free class thing that I threw together. But the key that I would tell you is that really from a statistical perspective. So I jumped into my team's Homebot yesterday when I was prepping for the call. And last month, a little over 2,000 digests were sent out. And it says 1,400 emails were opened. But we all know email open numbers are bogus, right? People just flip them through their phones, and sometimes their mail service opens it up. But what was the critical statistic was that over 1,000 people actually clicked on the email and went and opened the website of the Home Digest, as Ashley was talking about. And so over 50% of the people who received it actually engaged with the product. And the fact that it's creating that engagement, you can see who actually opened it up. So it gives you a reason to call. If it was you, Jeff, I could call you and say, gosh, Jeff, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing, knowing that you just looked at it. And then it also, as Jared said, it has these other engagement points built in. So they can run a little scale of how much extra principal they want to pay and how much faster they'll pay off their home. It does show them based on national average rates, what they could save if they were to do a refinance. It does show them how much buying power they had if they wanted to go buy a new house. It does show, as Ashley said, how much they could rent their home for. And so it's creating all these different engagement points. And she mentioned the artificial intelligence. So if you have mortgage insurance that says, hey, do you want to know more about how to get rid of your mortgage insurance? Button notifies the loan officer, hey, I want to learn about getting rid of mortgage insurance. And the funniest thing that Jared told me yesterday was that sometimes people say I accidentally hit the button, right, Jared? And then
it happens all the time.
Yeah, he says it happens all the time, but they're still calling the client and creating engagement. So the bottom line is this, is I find that loan officers and real estate agents are always looking for a reason to call people. And what Homebot does is it gets some people to raise their hand, which is super cool. And it also shows you who didn't raise their hand, but who's looking in the background so that you can be keeping in communication with those folks. And then also the flip side, I know that there's over 1,000 people that my team should be reaching out to who aren't opening it to find out, are you getting it? Is it going into your spam? Are you not reading it? Did you not find value? Again, it's creating a different engagement point. And so that's, I don't know, I'm just super excited about something that makes it really easy for people in our industry to go out there and get more business. And then the last thing I'll say, and then I'll shut up, is the realtor piece is interesting because you have to take the time to ask them the right questions to see how they'll value Homebot. But the bottom line is they need a reason to engage with their clients. They need a reason to be the home value expert. And every once in a while they say, but yeah, none of those online sites are accurate. And I say, well, that's the point. You know that they're not accurate, but your clients don't. They keep going there. And so when you get a Homebot Home Digest, it actually says verify the value. So it asks for a CMA, gives the loan officer a reason to reach out and reconnect them with their realtor. If they're working with the realtor, gives them the reason to introduce them to one of their favorite realtors if they don't know who their realtor was. And it helps the realtor and the client and you as their loan officer determine what is the accurate value today. And you've created this new conversation ongoing, just like the annual mortgage review, to do this annual real estate review.
Wow.
Can I take Jared and Todd and put them in my pocket and take you guys everywhere with me? You guys can do a great job.
Just speaking the truth.
Super awesome. And I recently looked up Todd's your engagement rate, and your engagement rate is almost at 70%. So that's not your open rate, but it was like 68.9% of the people that have opened it, they're actually continuously being engaged, which is pretty awesome. I don't know if there's any other system out there that has that high of an engagement rate.
Well, a perfect example is because it spreads them out over, they don't all go out at one time. And so they spreads out. And so my wife runs the team. There was 3 leads that came in over the weekend. Someone who wanted a CMA, comparative market analysis. Loan officer sent that off to their realtor. There were 2 people who wanted to trade up, right? Meaning that they wanted to look at buying a different house. And one of them was our longest loan officer on the team, our top loan officer. So that came in on Sunday. He got the lead from my wife. He reached out to him Monday, had him pre-approved to go out re-shopping by the afternoon. I mean, that created engagement that who knows if that hadn't gone, if that client would have remembered that Mick was their favorite loan officer and called. And in this case, not only was Mick now the favorite loan officer, he was also able to make sure they hadn't actually reached out to their realtor yet. So it's just one more tool in your belt. And I just think 2019 is all about client engagement. And so I don't know, I guess at some point, maybe Jeff, it'll be appropriate. The new client engagement teaching that I did with Homebot built into it it's like 90% done. It'll be ready to rock and roll, but I could give out the website. People could jump in there, at least see the videos on the creating client engagement part. And then if they want to look at the Homebot stuff, they can as well.
Yeah, man, if there's a URL you want to give out.
It's just winbynoon.info/5. And like you say, you'll see when you get there, it's like 90% done. And I have no excuses. My goal was to get it done by this morning. And life just sometimes is busy. And I got most of it done, but I actually created additional content while I was working on it, and because I wanted to give more. And when I wanted to give more, then that just didn't quite
get such a giver. Hey, just to clarify on the URL, it's winbynoon.info/5 written out, FIVE.
You know what? It's either the number 5 or it's written out 5, FIVE.
Okay. I'm going to put that in the comments right now.
See how smart I am, Jeff? I made sure that I covered it either way, just in case someone couldn't remember. It's
You're good, man.
Info thing, and it's free. It sends you a link, so you got to look in your spam if you don't see it, and then you can get in there. And it's got the 5 ways to increase client engagement in 2019 plus a tool, and then that tool is Homebot.
Wow. Love it. Yeah. So a couple, I just want to give a shout out to some of the people watching live. Thank you for participating and commenting. Jimmy Joseph, what is up? Caitlin. Yeah, Caitlin Shives here. She says she loves using Homebot, and I wish we would have known that because I had Caitlin and her loan officer. She's the business development person for Debbie Secord, who's a big producer at Guild. We had her on podcast episode number 102, going deep versus wide with real estate agents. So Caitlin, shame on me for not knowing that. Love to know more from you about how you guys are leveraging that. And of course, Kenny, I see you asking about the URL. It's in the chat notes here, Kenny. It's winbynoon.com. Sorry, winbynoon.info/5. What else we got here?
Check back later. If you get it today, check back in 48 hours and it'll be complete.
Awesome. So Caitlin says she just started using it within the last 45 days. Caitlin, if you want to throw in any comments of kind of like short term, I know it hasn't been that long yet, but any client responses or so forth from that. We'll get back to our panel in just a minute because somebody, Andrea, she has a question. I think I know the answer, but I'll let you guys, Ashley, I'll let you take this.
Okay.
Do you have to have a realtor partner to use it?
No, absolutely not. As a loan originator, you can join the subscription solely on your own. I highly suggest that you do partner with realtors. It helps you, one, close the loop between the real estate agent, the lender, and the consumer, as well as it gives you an opportunity to partner with a realtor and their clientele as well. Because when you do partner, you have the ability to put your information in front of all of their database. So when the realtors' consumers have questions, they get to reach out to the loan officer, which is amazing to be able to partner with a real estate agent where you have the ability to provide really powerful, intelligent information to their consumers that as a realtor, they may not be able to answer, and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know.
Oh,
go ahead, Todd.
I was just say one cool thing is in most markets, a realtor can't sign up without a loan officer. So that's also a pretty cool thing that Homebot's done is they put you guys in the driver's seat.
Oh, really? That's good to know. Hey, I'm curious, when I heard that, naturally my brain goes to the pricing. How does that, we don't have to like talk specifics, but how does that work if a loan officer is kind of the gatekeeper? How does that work for pricing in local markets and bringing realtors on and stuff like that?
Well, pricing wouldn't change based upon the market, and pricing, of course, has to be RESPA compliant between the real estate agent and the loan officer. So when the loan officer signs on, they have the option to co-brand with the realtor, and when you co-brand, they do have to pay their dollar amount, and the real estate agent has to pay their dollar amount. Okay,
awesome. Jared, I want to tee you up for a second. I think you might be the best person to answer this question. I don't know. We can have somebody else take it as well. This is awesome. This is kind of like, Hollywood Squares or whatever. We can defer,
Right, yeah.
But I was going to ask you, how, because you made a reference earlier to the realtor conversations. How do you engage with the realtor? How do you kind of tee up that conversation? And what are you generally finding the response to be?
Well, and every relationship's a little bit different, but what I try to do, if I'm meeting with a new real estate agent, I'll, just kind of find out about their business and kind of get an idea of where they are in terms of their overall career. Homebot actually in the Denver market here has become something that most people now know about. If they're being introduced, if Homebot's being introduced into other states, being an early adopter, by the way, is probably a pretty good thing. But what we did in our office is we had a number of loan officers that were interested in doing this, and we just did a focus group, and so we were inviting the real estate agents actually in to our office so we could do a longer presentation, because it's a difficult thing to kind of try to sit down one-on-one with a realtor and explain it to them. When you get a lot of people in a room, it makes it a lot more impressive, and you can take a little bit longer. So we just say that, listen, we've got this amazing tool that allows you to interact with your consumers. It gives them their own website, so where they can monitor their value, their mortgage, and how to really bring that all together into their overall financial life. It's something you really should see. It's cheap. It's very price, effective. You can load your whole database in, and we're doing this seminar and give the date. So we were introducing it in like groups, meetings, so that way we could really get into the guts of it, show them it, have all the questions and answers going, and introduce it to them that way.
And we provide the tools as well for the loan officers. So we have decks for them, like PowerPoint presentations. We have videos. Maybe we didn't 2 years ago.
No, you didn't. No, so, right. We had Ernie.
So we have short little videos. We have long videos. We spend a lot of time, or at least I spend a lot of time out here in Arizona, educating loan officers on how to prepare their real estate agents to become a part of it. But honestly, real estate agents love it. They absolutely love it. I mean, they are now they're redefining their actual position. So when they're done with that transaction and they've sold that house, what's happening? Most real estate agents, maybe they had a CRM, maybe they were sending a pumpkin pie recipe. I don't know. But now we're putting them in a position where they can deliver this intelligent, powerful financial information, and they can partner with their favorite LO, Jared or Todd.
Well, one cool thing too, because someone was asking in Facebook about whether it's only one LO in there. So yeah, it's you're the person that they see on their home digest every month. And then the cool thing is that if your realtor signs up their client and their client sees them as it's their home digest, but when they get down and ask any questions on the financial part, because it has the same stuff in there about, are you interested in paying off refinancing, or interested in paying more principal, then that goes to the lender, and it gives you a reason then to pick up the phone, call your agent, say, hey, this client that I didn't work with, it could have been from another lender who worked with them. Are you okay if I provide them the information that they asked me for? And again, you're creating that teamwork environment with your realtor. So it's just, again, one more opportunity. I'm all about avoiding shiny objects, right? If my big belief is keeping it simple, but this is something that is an opportunity that you at least need to explore, assuming that you can build in the time to do the follow-up. If you don't have the time to do the follow-up, then you probably have some other things you should look at first. However, from a customer engagement perspective, adding value, this is huge.
Yeah, that's a good summary, guys. And this is making me think of, I'm doing a lot of work right now and looking at the real estate disruptors out there, right? The Zillows, like where 180 million people go on average a month to view real estate. And one of the things that I'm learning in my research is, you guys kind of alluded to this, and this is why I think agents love it. Ashley and Jared, you've experienced this, Kenny as well, is, agents finally, I think, are waking up to the proposition that, your value is not in, the MLS or the homes. That's long gone, right? So you're not the gatekeeper anymore, but the real value of a real estate agent now is there's a lot of data when it comes to buying and selling a home on the lending side as well. And people, what they want to do is they don't want to have to digest and understand that data. They want a professional to help them understand and digest that data. And so that's what I see just on a surface level. One of the things that Homebot does is provide some really engaging, interactive data right on your mobile phone in an awesome mobile first way, that really helps people digest and assimilate data based on the current value of their home, right? Are they ripe for a possible refi and things like that? Caitlin, she came back to me and said she's only had it for like 45 days, but her and Debbie found it a great way for her as a loan officer to stay in touch, stay in front of their clients. And they've also received several leads from clients about potentially refinancing or is another play using the Homebot data to show you, right, the power you've got now of equity of possibly, a move up if that's the right time for you.
Absolutely. I mean, we live in the age of connectivity. I mean, you see people, we're now wearing, our Apple Watches around our wrist. We're tracking our fitness. We can track our phone time on our phone. We can track our monthly expenses. I mean, literally there's an app for everything. And this is truly one of a kind, and an application. Again, it's not an app that you can download from the App Store. And I'm going to reiterate that because I get that question all the time. But it's an application where consumers can keep connected and track what their equity position. I shouldn't just say equity position because not everyone has a ton of equity, but their financial position with their current property. And if they own multiple properties as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Jared, back to you real quickly. I know we're kind of getting to the end of our time here together. The $64,000 question, putting you on the spot. Right here, it's written down here, so I have to ask it.
Drum roll. I'm nervous.
Deals.
If you're using me, that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Your next books, man. Deals you can track from Homebot for you or your agents.
I mean, that's a wonderful question. And frankly, I don't have a number that I can put on it because when we, track all our leads, and I know that over 50% of my business actually comes from my database, either repeat customers or repeat customer referrals. So when we get, a client and do their loan again, I'm not saying, well, it's just a repeat customer. So I don't know if it was Homebot that was the impetus for that. But what I do know is that, again, it's creating engagement. It's something that my consumers like and talk about when I'm talking to them on the phone. It's working. And I know that, again, I don't know how many deals that is, but I know that when it comes to the refinance stuff, people have said, well, let me know that they want to refinance, and we immediately call them on the phone and we get it going. I don't track that. Okay, that was Homebot. It's just a repeat customer, but it's definitely making an impact. And I could tell even over this last year, the industry was down about 30%, I think overall. My business in 2018 was also down, unfortunately. It was down only about 4%, but my purchase business was way up. Now, there's other things that we were doing in that. It's about 20 to 30% in 2018 that my purchase business was up. But I think somewhat attributable to that is that, we're actively engaged with our consumers using Homebot as one of those tools, as well as our annual mortgage review, to really make sure that we're in constant communication with them and letting them know that we have their back, and we're the information source that they need to go to when they're thinking about selling or buying new real estate or refinancing.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm going to come to you in a second, Todd, but it kind of piggybacks on what I was saying just a moment ago about, even though people are still going to go online, right, the various destinations and portals and all that kind of stuff, the whole point is they may go on there to consume data, but we still want to bring them back to us, right, being that personal brand that they know, like, and trust. So I think that's what you're experiencing as a result of your engagement you've got built around your past clients. Good stuff. Todd, did you have something you want to add, sir?
I would just throw in a couple of things, right? The cost is low. I mean, literally, like for a realtor, I think that the Homebot statistic is if you can close one deal in the first 30 days, it pays for a Homebot for 20 years. So when you're talking to a realtor, I think it's really easy because the cost is so low for them for 500 clients to get them in there that it kind of makes it a no-brainer as long as they understand how to use it. And I think ultimately in the end, I mean, if you're doing the right things as a loan officer, right? Use Jared as your example. You're keeping in touch with your database. You're doing mortgage reviews. All you're doing is just one more tool in the tool belt that makes it so that you're adding more value and you're helping eliminate some of the noise. You want your clients to see you as the expert. And if you just send them a postcard every now and then, or you just, send them an email every month that they hit delete on, that's not really going to get you there. Think about engagement in 2019 would be all I would encourage people to do. And just be crystal clear with a system to follow up with people to reach out to the ones who don't engage.
Awesome. Well said. Thank you. Ashley, you want to close it out for us here on any last comments? You're up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love everything that Jared and Todd were saying about your current database, but I also want people to keep in mind, you can use this as a tool to engage with your renters, people who are looking to buy as well. We have a buyer's platform that's a part of it. So it's amazing new tool that we launched at the end of 2018. We are really trying to become one of the largest innovators in this whole AI world. In fact, we just won the 2018 Realogy Innovator of the Year, which was really awesome. So Realogy has our back. I recently got to speak at Inman with Brad Inman in Beverly Hills at the conference. So we're out there, and Jared being an early adopter 2 years ago, and still having 2 years later, still loving it and liking it. That's awesome. I'm really proud that I'm able to be part of a company that not only, I always say we want to inspire, educate, and empower. And I truly feel like through Homebot, I'm able to inspire real estate agents and lenders to become more connected to their clients, educate them on how to connect them, and then educate their consumers as well. So I'm proud to be part of Homebot. I'm proud to have people, Jared and Todd, that love it just as much and are out there preaching about it. And it's amazing. Thank you guys. I really, really am super grateful.
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. And that's part of why I wanted to have you guys on is like, I think I told you, Ashley, I actually got exposed to Homebot, I don't know, at least 6 months ago or more. And it's been on my radar for some time. And so kudos to you guys for getting the Realogy Innovator of the Year Award. That's awesome. And you hanging with Mr. Inman, never hurts to do that. Jim Stryker, what's up? So for those who want more information about Homebot, Ashley, what do you recommend? Where should they go?
The easiest place to go is Homebot.ai.
Homebot.ai. Couldn't be more simple than that. You have a demo there, I believe, which is probably the best way to make an evaluation on Homebot is to watch the demo.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch the demo. You can schedule a one-on-one, or you can reach out. If you're in Arizona, you can reach out to me personally.
Awesome. Great. Listen, guys, I know you're incredibly busy. Thanks for being here. Everybody watching live, thanks for tuning in live. If you're watching the replay, thank you too. Check all the links we're going to put in here. If you're listening to this on the podcast, hey, we know you love you too. There'll be links in the show notes, and feel free to come on over to our Facebook pages, whether it's the Facebook page on you know what I'm saying, Mortgage Marketing Radio Facebook page, or the podcast community on Facebook. Check that out, our Facebook group as well. So once again, guys, thanks. Have a great day for being here.
I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take care. Bye for now.